The Yankees continued their strong play on Sunday with a shutout victory, 4-0 over the Rays, as they took 3 out of 4 down in Tampa this weekend. So let's talk some Yankees baseball. We're going to do it with the founder of Uptown Sports. He's also a contributor to Latino Sports. His name is Hector Beauchamp, my guy who joins me now. Hector, what is going on? I like the fit. You got the hat, the purple tie. You're in your Sunday's best, your Easter best. We had a little purple connection with us today.
Yes.
I like what you're doing there.
Of course, Dex, I learned from the best. When it comes to dressing nice, my guy Dexter Henry always is the first one. But no, I appreciate you, Dex. It's been a minute. Hope all is well. Hope the family's doing good.
Family is good. All is well. Happy Easter Sunday to you. And you're right, it has been a minute. I don't think that you and I have talked Yankee baseball since the season has started. But the Yankees out here doing some good things, 14-8 on the season. Got to start with the pitching. How impressed have you been with Max Fried, who we saw start on Sunday, and his start to the season, and what stood out to you the most from his dominant performance that we saw today against the Rays?
Max Fried has been phenomenal, better than advertised for the New York Yankees. In the absence of Garrett Cole, it was important for him and Carlos Rodon to step up. Not so much Rodon, but Max Fried has been phenomenal. If I'm not mistaken, I think the Yankees have won all 5 of Max Fried's starts. He's given you, minus the first start of the season, he's given you at least 6 or 7 innings. So when you need your starter or your ace that's out there to give you length, Max Fried has lived up to that. When you look at the Yankees bullpen over the past week, Luke Weaver pitched multiple days. Ian Hamilton just came back. So we needed somebody to give us length, and that's what Max Fried did tonight, outside of the blunder with the no-hitter and stuff like that.
Yeah, we're going to get into that right now. The blunder with the no-hitter. Yeah, we can call it a blunder. I think that's pretty fair. So I got to ask you this. What is your take on the controversial scoring change that we saw that went down in the 6th inning? Actually, scoring change didn't come till the 7th inning. That ended Fried's no-hit bid. And I guess the big question here is, did the official scorer get it right, or does it seem like he might have been hating?
As much as Yankee fans want to give him hate, and also shout out to Bill Matthews. I don't think either you and I or any Yankee fan out there knew this man's name before today's game, but we all know his name now going forward. But shout out to Bill Matthews. He had a tough decision to make. And in the moment when I was watching the game, I was surprised that it was called an error. Even in the next inning, it was a change. But to change the call in the 8th inning, I thought it was way past the time to change it. He was quoted at Chris Kreisner was able to get a quote for him that said, "I made a decision and I stuck with it," and he stopped answering questions after that. So it was a tough call from Bill Matthews. At the moment, I thought it was a hit because of that speed that he has coming up the first baseline, but it's a tough call. 50-50. I don't think you and I would have probably made a better call than he did.
Yeah, it was a tough play. I think you want to see the pitcher go for the no-hitter there. And sorry, I said it was the 7th inning. You're right. It was the 8th inning when the scoring change did come down there. And look, I got to give Bill Matthews a little bit of credit, Hector, because he did speak. He did put his name on it. He put a quote on it. He said it was his decision. He's standing by it. We all have to move on, I guess, right? We have to move on. It is
secondhand embarrassment, though. Secondhand embarrassment. When they was highlighting him in the scorer's booth, in the press box, I felt a little bit bad for him because I know now every Yankee fan on Twitter is going to print this face out and take it to the target practice.
Yeah, they didn't have to do him like that. They didn't have to do him like that in the broadcast. But this is what happened. Now, back to the Yankees. They've been playing good. They've won 6 out of their last 7 games. What's been the biggest difference maker during this stretch of success that we've seen from the Bronx Bombers?
Well, outside of Max Fried obviously being a dominant ace, Aaron Judge, during the middle of the week, he was hitting over 400. He's not there at the clip right now, but Aaron Judge has been phenomenal. Paul Goldschmidt, the clutch hitting late in games has been the big difference maker from the New York Yankees. And you got to give credit to their defense. I know yesterday with Devin Williams, it was a bit shaky, but that defense with Anthony Volpe and Jazz Chisholm, you saw Jazz made a tremendous play today. I think the difference has been the big difference maker for the New York Yankees in this past week versus the first week and a half of the season.
Yeah, defense has been solid. That Jazz play was a sick one on the diving catch that we saw from him in today's game. So when we look at this week, Hector, what should we be watching for as the Yankees? They're going to head to Cleveland to face a tough Guardians team before they return home to host the Blue Jays. What are you keeping your eye on with the Yanks this week?
There's 2 things to keep a lookout on. I know they gave Ben Rice the day off after getting hit in his elbow yesterday. Ben Rice has been tremendous in the absence of Giancarlo Stanton, just sliding perfectly into that DH spot. But Devin Williams, the New York Yankees, we need Devin Williams to be right. And I know a lot of Yankee fans are having flashbacks to Clay Holmes and Aroldis Chapman, and I understand that. But when you look at Clay Holmes and you just go off of his track record, Dex, in the month of April and May, his ERA is 3.85. After May, you see it start going down. And I had a conversation with a good friend of mine named Ben, who's a Brewer content creator, who pointed it out that Devin Williams, his cutter usage this year is non-existent. He's not throwing his cutter like he did in the past when he was pitching for the Brewers. And I'm not sure if that's a Devin Williams thing or a Matt Blake and the Yankees thing. So those are the two things that the Yankee fans got to keep their eyes on for this upcoming week.
All right, keep your eye on Devin Williams. Yankee fans want to see a little bit better out of him in the pen in that closing role. That is Hector Beauchamp. We hadn't talked in a while about some Yankees baseball. We're doing so here. Check him out on Uptown Sports TV. Also check him out with Latino Sports, doing a great job covering the Yankees and sports around New York. Hector, pleasure to see you. Happy Sunday. Love the fit, like I said again. We'll talk soon.
Dexter, appreciate you. Happy Easter and be blessed.